Hey guys, we are live. Capcom Unity here. This is GregaMan. I'm joined by Tristan.
Hey guys.
You may remember him from most of our Dragon's Dogma streams, as well as our Okami HD streams from back in the day. But we're taking an exclusive live look at the new Strider game, which is due out a little later this year on PS3, PS4, Xbox 360, Xbox One, and PC.
Yes.
A veritable crapload of systems, so have it your way. And what we're showing today is footage that I believe has been shown to the press before, but never shown to the public in video form. So
that is correct. Yeah. So this is sort of a brand new section. No one's really seen this apart from screenshot form. So we'll be showing off some of the things we just showed recently, including Mecha Pon. So fans of you, fans of the originals, should certainly appreciate that.
Indeed. Should we go ahead and cut to the footage? We got Yuri off camera here operating the. There he is.
There he is.
So let's go ahead and cut to it. There we have Strider Hiryu with his new design, which I think is looking pretty slick. We're playing on the PC build.
That's correct, yeah. So we're running the DirectX 11 PC build. So yes, this visually is a pretty one.
Mm-hmm. And my understanding is that the designer of, or the person who designed the model for Hiryu is actually the art director, was it, from Strider 2?
Yeah, so yeah, he was a part of the project, and then we had a different designer as well who worked on previous Strider games. So it's definitely a labor of love. We are working with Double Helix, in addition to sort of working with a lot of core staff from Capcom Japan as well. So it's a good mix. But yeah, so for this section, we are showing off the research area. So this is one of the larger sections of the game. Basically, this area, it's a little ways into the game. The guy who's in charge of this area is called Schleg. He's basically Grandmaster Mayo's general who kind of oversees all of his research and weapons development. So it's a very technologically advanced area. But yeah, why don't I just dive in and I can kind of like walk everyone through some of the various abilities we have right now.
Let's do it.
All right, so just clear the area really quick.
I think just from the get-go, I mean, obviously this is a game where you progress as a character and you gain new abilities as you go, but I think even from the get-go, you have basically all the abilities that he had in the old games, which were not that many, to be honest, to be sure, because it was an arcade game. But you've got the super fast slashing. Basically, you can slash as fast as you can hit your button. You can climb on just about any surface. He's got the slide, which I love that animation for the slide. I think that's so true to the original, just that he sort of rolls into the slide.
Yeah, so this is a powered up slide as well, so it does do a little bit of damage. Yeah, it'll be on PC Steam, yeah. The scarf. Yeah, so the scarf, actually, the interesting bit, so we have, in addition to the kind of the power-ups Greg mentioned, we also have all new elemental ciphers. So Strider can now actually power up his cipher with a couple different elemental abilities. So if we switch to the explosive cipher, his scarf will actually change color based on what we currently have equipped, and there's a different lighting effect, as you can see. But the explosive cipher will do fire damage. So basically, it'll do damage over time to enemies that it hits. So it does additional damage up front, and also will burn them slowly over time. So definitely helpful for a lot of the tougher enemies in the game. In addition to that, it also opens up certain doors in called fire gates that are later in the game. Beyond that, we have the ice cipher, or the freezing cipher. This will actually allow you to freeze enemies, which works really well for crowd control. So you can, if there's too many guys on the screen, which there often are, you can take a few swipes at them. They'll freeze solid, kind of give you a moment to sort of reassess what you're doing. The nice thing about this too is you can also freeze enemies and then use them and actually climb on them. So
yeah, I was gonna say.
If there's flying enemies, you can actually freeze them and use them as sort of like a platform to get somewhere.
Yeah, you can get kind of clever since he's such a climber. You know, you can just freeze a guy in the middle of like a giant chasm and then climb all over him to get somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. So beyond that, we do have a new move called the catapult shot, which is this, which allows you to. It's kind of like a triple jump. It allows you to shoot in any particular direction. You can do it from the ground. But yeah, it gives you an additional sort of boost.
It becomes pretty essential for combat too, because it kind of works like an evasive move as well. I find myself using it all the time.
It does, yeah. We'll definitely be using that a lot on the boss fight. There's also some traversal areas too, where it comes in real handy. Beyond that, we also have Strider's bots are returning. So we have the satellite bots, which function as both a shield and also as you swing your sword, they'll shoot out projectiles.
Cool.
Those are
Glad
pretty
to see
cool.
these guys back.
And then we also have the Eagle bot, which comes in and sort of flies on a kind of predetermined trajectory, which also you can deploy in air, which is pretty handy. It'll take out enemy shields. It will rip through generally most enemies. And then we have the Panther bot as well, which tends to sort of roam on its own little straight line.
Whoa, that's cool. Unlock some concept art just now.
Yeah, so those little power-ups are scattered throughout the game. They'll unlock different bits of concept art and stuff like that.
Yeah, people are recognizing that the was it option B? That's the Ouroboros, or people are recognizing it from MDC.
Oh, from like Marvel and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so definitely lots of little homages to that. But yeah, and then the basic cipher will also reflect enemy bullets, so we'll show that off a little bit later. But yeah, that's kind of his current arsenal as we have equipped. There are additional power-ups which we haven't shown yet, so we'll be showing those off kind of closer to when the game comes out. But for now, this is kind of what we're working with. So let's just dive in.
Let's do it.
I'm going to go with a reflect cipher for now, I think. So these little power upgrades, which if you played Strider 2, should look pretty familiar. It's actually like a similar design as the little crates in Strider 2. I should note, all your bot abilities will use that red energy up top. It does recharge on its own rather slowly, but usually taking out an enemy crate or an enemy will refill it. So you get a little bit of health and a little bit of energy every time you kill an enemy. So the game kind of incentivizes you to really keep moving and, you know, kill as many enemies as you can.
I was gonna say, like, I think people might be pretty familiar with this genre by now, or this sort of exploration or explorative, you know, where you have like one big map that you're filling out. But I don't think any game of this type is really as fast as what you'll see with Strider. Like, it really is. You just have like a different sort of momentum than you might see in games like Symphony of the Night or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely pretty combat heavy. There are certainly aspects to it that are like something like a Symphony of the Night or, you know, Metroid or something like that. But I think the combat here is really what makes it shine. It's definitely faster paced, and Strider has always been about just, yeah, carrying through lots of enemies really quickly. And
really pounding that that slash button.
Yeah, and that's definitely alive
Really
and well in this iteration.
The game, yeah, the price point has been announced at $14.99.
Yeah, so all platforms, $14.99.
Release date, we don't have a date yet. We're just saying early this year.
Yeah, so we are very close to having our final release date pinned down. I can say it will be pretty soon. Can't do that here. But yeah, we don't have anything totally official just yet. But stay tuned. All right, so as you can see, we are in a sort of production line facility. Running against the grain here. Let's wait this out. So again, making use of that catapult shot definitely helps with traversal. One of the cool things about the game is, like, a lot of elements will come in from the background. This is it's a 3D space, but it's sort of a 2.5D, I guess. But yeah, little elements like this those guys will appear, and you can actually interact with them. They have physics. They're alive and well. There they work. Again, making good use of the fire cipher here, or the explosive cipher rather. It does do quite a bit of additional damage, so pretty handy. It doesn't reflect enemy shots, which obviously poses a bit of a risk if you're in like a major firefight and you're getting shot a lot, but in fact, let's reflect a shot. So if I if you time it right when you swing your cipher, you'll hit it back at them and do damage. If you just stand there and mash, you'll just kind of bat them away. But timing is pretty relevant. These little gates here, now that our boots are fully upgraded, we can actually take these little grates out.
Cool.
Should note, different enemies will have different shields often, kind of requiring a different cipher to take them out. So in this case, this guy has a shield that I use my explosive cipher with. Scenario. There we go. There's a little downward strike ability. This does a little bit of splash damage as well. Just for ducks, let's do that. Freeze it, cipher. So there it is. You can freeze an enemy. Now I can stay on him and climb him. Yeah. Just chill here for a second.
Chill, is it?
Awful.
Yeah.
So comes in pretty handy.
When I was reading this this article on VG 24/7 after they interviewed James Vance, who's one of the producers, and he was saying Double Helix, who developed this game, they had, when they originally pitched this type of game for a Strider revival, it basically like completely matched his own idea of like what Strider should be if they ever brought it back. And I think that's probably the case for a lot of fans too. Like I kind of had my own idea about what they should do with Strider, and this is basically it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's a huge labor of love,
and it kind of combines the best things about past Strider games. There haven't been that many Strider games. There was the arcade game, and then there was the NES game, which was completely different, and then there was Strider 2, which is kind of just a remake of the original arcade game. But that first arcade game and the NES game, they both had very interesting elements, like the satisfying button mashy arcade action of the one versus like the more explorative, like character progression kind of thing going on in the NES game. Like this has all of that and more. So I really think it's poised to be the best Strider game we've ever had. Definitely, if you've always wished for more Strider games, this is the one to check out.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's the team at DH in their pitch. I mean, yeah, really looked at. I mean, they're big fans of really every game in the series, and really understood a lot of what made those games great, and kind of wanted to do just this perfect blend of a lot of the aspects of all those games, and really kind of do one big labor of love. So yeah, I mean, yeah, they've done an amazing job, and I'm very excited to see what fans think of it. So for that little mini boss there, that was the Brainwalker. It's one of Schleg's many creations. But yeah, that was sort of a mini boss fight. We had a little pneumatic tube action right here as well.
Anyone who's a fan of the NES game might be pretty delighted right now.
These are the save room / checkpoints. Help you fill your health as well. So again, if I'm just mashing,
so you're batting them away.
Bats them away.
But if you time it right,
if I time it right.
Nice. Someone's been practicing.
Stop it. All right, so now we have a little platforming section. So these lasers are obviously hot and unpleasant. So we are going to make expert use of our catapult shot. So if you look in the upper left-hand corner, when I use the catapult shot, whoa, easy. There's a little cooldown on there. So you can actually use it, in theory, throughout like one long jump multiple times, for instance.
You just have to have enough airtime.
Yeah, exactly.
To let it
to
cool
recharge.
down.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that little that ring in the left.
Yeah.
The blue ring. There it goes.
Oh God!
Classic death animation there. I love it.
Yeah, and it's those little touches.
Mm-hmm. How did you know the laser's hot? That's insider information from the devs, actually. That was in their notes.
I just leaked that, sorry. All right, so again, more fun with lasers. Oh God, conveyor belts.
just doesn't.
Oh, wow.
Oh!
I'm off my game today.
It's like you're trolling.
Just trying to give a mix of like expert play
Yeah,
versus
yeah.
what's like a more real world experience.
Yeah, you guys, someone mentioned the death battle. You guys should check that out. There's a video of Strider destroying Ninja Gaiden's ninja in battle. It's a close call, it is. But Strider's just, he's got the future edge. You know, he's like all of the strengths of a normal ninja plus technology.
All right, so right there, as the screen just changed color, if you look in the upper left-hand corner, there's a little red ring. That fills up as you do damage to enemies and kill enemies, but don't take damage yourself. Once that reaches its maximum gauge, your Strider, or your cipher rather, will like double in length. It'll do additional damage, and you kind of get like a little burst of being super, super powerful. And so for this little area, this is kind of like a gauntlet, basically. From here, we'll run through this section, and then we'll kind of dive straight into the Mecha Pon boss fight.
Test program commence.
Out of the way. The sniper shots are generally pretty unpleasant. I can actually deploy some of my bots here. Panther bot is pretty effective. Enemies that don't use elemental shields and just use like a basic shield normally need to do like a charged attack where you hold down the X button, charge it up like you would like in Marvel. But your bots will actually generally take out enemy shields, so it's a good alternative if you're totally swarmed.
Love it.
Test program launch.
So these guys are infected troopers. You encounter them in a different section of the game. Sort of like a highlight reel of enemies. Yeah, they spit poisonous goo.
Goodness gracious. Who let these things in the lab?
There's that.
There's the thingy.
Super powerful.
It's kind of like in the original when you get the cipher power up.
Test program
Oh, yeah.
processing data.
Yes, similar.
Test program execute.
Well, you know, it's a different kind. You know, it's not a quarter muncher. Like, oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, we just got a comment that the game looks too easy. You know, it's a different
part of that
pace.
is I've played it a lot.
That's also definitely true. If you read any of the recent coverage from press, I think there were plenty of people in the press had a pretty serious challenge, especially when we get to this Mecha Pon fight, where like Tristan is pretty inspiring to watch because he's done this a lot.
I have spent a lot of time with it. But yeah, I mean, it definitely, you know, from the team's perspective, it is a challenging game, and they definitely wanted to kind of stay true to, you know, the original arcade feel, where it's, you know, it's not a super easy platforming type game, but you know, striking a balance too with modern sentiment. So
Yeah. I mean, if you go back and play Strider 1 in particular, I think its quarter munching roots will really come through when you realize that it may not be the most balanced difficulty. I think that's something that they're striving for this time, though.
yeah, I mean, it's definitely, you know, it's tough but fair.
Estimate of how long the game will take?
So it's looking around 7 to 8 hours if you just do the kind of golden path, like straight to the, you know, don't really do any side questing stuff. But given that this is, you know, the map is all one large interconnected world, you unlock different abilities, and then you're able to backtrack and unlock, you know, stuff in different areas. there's definitely a lot more to see and do beyond just the core game, so it could easily go pretty well beyond that. Sweet. All right, let's just dive in. Here again, we see Schleg.
My creations! I will not stand for this any longer. Behold, my greatest creation.
I don't know if I trust this guy.
Smash your skull!
May not be altogether there.
Oh, SB asking about my shirt. It's another The Frames shirt. I have like one for every day of the week.
Is that like a thing?
It's a band.
Oh, no, I mean like your shirts. Is that?
No, I don't know. He just wants to know.
I feel like it should be a thing.
It's usually a Frames shirt or Nevik. So I feel like if you guys go back and look at the original Strider Mecha Pon, I think you'll find that he was not quite as sophisticated back then as he is now. He's got a lot of attacks. This I think was the part that gave the press a serious run for their money.
Yeah, I think 2 press people out of like the 12 we saw were able to get through. Oh, God. And even
They're just catapulting into the attacks.
Yeah. So yeah, he is tricky. Not only does he do that jumping attack kind of at you, but he also, well, he does this too. He has a variety of nasty tricks. And a lot of his stuff tends to be kind of an area effect thing. So each little bit of debris that he throws right there will shoot out some additional stuff, which makes him...
Spark Mandrill. Yuri is asking, by popular demand, the Spark Mandrill reference. Yeah, it is kind of funny how common the robo-primate archetype has become. I think almost entirely thanks to Capcom and Double Helix.
We on that one?
Yeah, it seems like it. VCR had it. Spark Mandrill. Need I remind you?
So now that he's taken quite a bit of damage, each time he does his little jumping attack, it will actually go pretty much full screen. You can tell by the blue area, which makes him rather difficult to deal with. But it looks like he's stunned, so... But I have very little life left.
Oh, is that why we're getting...
That's why we're getting a little bit of the red flashiness. Red scan lines, and you're dying. Alright, let's see if I can pull this off. I'm a little concerned. Oh god.
Wow, the new Donkey Kong game sure is edgy. That's my favorite comment so
And
far.
we did it.
Yes!
Yes.
Love it.
You?
Are we allowed to watch this?
Yeah, it's fine. We showed it to press.
Who are you to defy my power? Accepted my facility, beaten my creations. You insect! You should be honored to even be.
So here we have the Grandmaster making an appearance.
Oh. We just flambéed that guy.
He does not tolerate failure.
What's he gonna do to this thing?
Flashed away like the rest of the imperfections.
Wow.
And there we have it.
That was pretty cool.
All right, now you can cut away.
All right, so yeah, I guess we'll wrap it up here, guys. This is Strider, the new Strider game. Thank you for tuning in. It will be released. We don't have a date yet, but soon. For PS3, PS4, Xbox One, Xbox 360, and PC.
Yep.
And that's $14.99 for all platforms.
Correct.
So get hype. And thanks for tuning in, guys.
Thanks, guys.
See ya.